Hello folks, I'm going to do some riding today and doing some vlogging from Weight Tech here and getting on my bike. And let's see, I'm going to try not to talk so loud into the camera this time. This camera, the Samsung, it's okay, but you know, it's got the blurriness problem and it's got the sound issue, so it's not the greatest camera in the world. But anyway, there we go. That's how we do it. That is how we do it, folks. So, time to vlog. So, what's on my mind today? Today is March 20th, 2013. First day of spring, and I tell you, you can really feel it here in Raleigh. Trees are starting to bloom. People are starting to get excited again about, you know, going out and doing things. Spring break is coming too for us. I have a week off coming very soon. Next week is my week off. So that'll be nice. Alright, so let me get to my topic here. Oh, by the way, thank you, Brightex, for your advice on the GoPro camera. Definitely going to look into it. I'd like to find a camera that'll fit my helmet the way this one does, that will take HD level video and have decent audio quality. Because right now I can blow out the audio too easily, and that's not good. I have to remember to not speak too loudly, so it's going to sound like I have a sultry voice when I'm riding for a while until I get a different camera. This camera did cost a lot. It cost $150, which is not a, you know, not a king's ransom, but still slightly pricey. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, if you can tell me of a camera that fits the criteria that I have of being able to fit in the helmet, HD quality video, oh, and it has to be able to recharge by USB. I don't want to buy batteries for a camera. Let me know. I'm interested to find out. Oh, fortune is smiling upon me. Well, maybe not. Oh well. I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk it. No, sir. Not going to risk it at all. So, let's see. Where was I? Okay, so here's, wow, look at that. That's Walgreens. Coming in, Sheetz gas station has just come in there. That was just Forest a little while ago. Now it's more shopping. More people, more shopping. Raleigh is apparently the fastest growing city in the nation, I think. I think I just saw that on the news today. Since 2000, the growth rate has been 48% in Raleigh. So Charlotte is also in the top 5. Pretty amazing stuff. So I guess I'm part of the reason this place is exploding. It's funny. Now that I've moved here, I don't want anyone else to. You know, no, don't move here. I like it the way it is. Everybody's moving here for the way it is, and it's not going to be that way anymore because we are overpopulating it. Which means I'm going to have to move further away from everything. But for now, I'm happy. it's not too bad. Some parts of Raleigh, my God, it's like being up in Boston. Ugh. No offense to the Bostonians, you know. I do enjoy visiting Boston, but it's too crowded for me. Much, much too crowded. And expensive, too. Okay, so my topic for today. I was watching a video with my friend Caniela6759, and in that video they had this guy apparently who is a famous atheist. I can't remember his name now, but you've probably seen him. He's a British guy, he's got glasses, older, and he really cuts into Islam and religion in general. He thinks that, you know, your God is stupid, he says, and your religion is stupid, it's fake, it's a joke, and your faith is a joke, and your faith is stupid, and all that kind of stuff. And so it got me thinking about that, about faith and rationality. So let me give you my perspective on this, as if you cared. My thinking is, okay, if you believe that God exists, let's say the Judeo-Christian God, Allah, Yahweh, Jehovah, the man with the beard on the mountain with the white robe, if you believe in that conception of God, upon what is your belief based? Well, it is based on faith. Faith that God exists. There's there's absolutely no external evidence that proves scientifically that God exists. Now, what is science? Science is based on empirical fact, data, measurable things, studies and experiments that can be repeated again and again and you get the same result. Science is what technology is based on, and science is what all our progress is based on. And so if you want to believe in God, you have to abandon, in a sense, the scientific, rationalistic, whatever method of contemplating the existence of God. It's a faith-based belief. And the faith is not a rational faith the way science is rational, because the rational faith of science is based on a faith of its own, that the empirical evidence that you are seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting, all that kind of thing, empirical evidence itself is based on the kind of faith that this is actually reality. And there's really no way to prove or disprove that this is actually reality. I mean, let's say, for example, we're all in the Matrix. How do you prove or disprove that you're in the Matrix? You can't. It's an unprovable thing. So you have to take it on faith that what you see is what you see and what you hear is what you hear, and that the laws of physics are actually the laws of physics, those kinds of things. That's called a rational faith, faith based on empirical evidence. Religious faith is an irrational faith in that it's not based on empirical evidence like rational faith is. I'm not saying it's worse, I'm saying it's a different kind of faith. It's a faith of feeling, not of knowledge. It's a faith of, I can feel it in my heart, I know it because I can feel it. And then you say, well, what proof do you have? Well, proof doesn't matter because it's a faith-based thing. And I don't discount that at all. So then, let's get back to this question of the existence of God. Okay, so if you believe that God exists, you're basing your belief not on empirical faith, but on religious faith or spiritual faith. So I don't equate religion and God. Okay. If you believe that God does not exist, you're basing that on another kind of faith. And you could say the kind of the dark side of empirical faith, or the misinterpreted side, I would say. Because there are many things in the universe that we haven't yet discovered. just because we haven't discovered them yet doesn't mean they don't exist. Just because theories have not yet come up with, well, we haven't come up with theories, let's say, for this or that. Just because there isn't a theory yet and it hasn't been proven yet doesn't mean that something doesn't exist. For example, the existence of black holes before the theory came out, it didn't mean that black holes didn't exist till the theory came out, and then when the theory came out it hadn't been proven yet, so they started seeing empirical data, and now they say, okay, now you can believe it. But to say that something can't exist because there's no evidence for it, I think is going too far with the empirical faith. So if you're going to be a complete rationalist, and this is my opinion, of course, a complete rationalist, and say, okay, I'm going to base my judgment on this existence or non-existence of God on a rational examination of the data in front of me, I have to conclude that since there's no proof in favor of there being a God in a rational sense, and if there's no proof against the existence of God in a rational sense, because you can't prove a negative, you can't prove that God doesn't exist, and you can't prove that God does exist. So in the end, if you're truly rational, you have to be an agnostic, unless you accept non-empirical faith. So I'm kind of an agnostic that's a little bit more on the side of the non-empirical faith, and that's only, I guess you could say, I'm being facetious in a way, because my belief in a hereafter, let's put it that way, a hereafter, is based on the kind of empirical faith. It's personal experience, which I know anecdotal evidence does not prove a rule, but when I saw my father pass, it was a highly spiritual thing, and so it's hard to explain, it's hard to describe, but I do feel that there's something more than this, and it could be just my hopefulness, but since you can't prove it or disprove it, then you're forced into a permanent state of agnosticism unless you embrace non-empirical faith, as I said. Now, the other thing you could take from that is that the very question itself of whether or not God exists, since it can't be answered definitively, either empirically or not, then the question itself becomes kind of a waste of time. It's a moot point, whether or not God exists. Just speaking purely rationally. And a lot of people have millions and billions have made their lives all about it, believing or not believing. And maybe that's the problem. We're using our rationality towards the wrong ends in a way, I guess. I mean, if it causes strife and pain and anger and all that, isn't that kind of a bad thing? Like, my religion's right and your religion's wrong, so I'm going to kill you. That's kind of not a good thing either, right? Maybe we should just let it go. Let that problem go. If you want to believe, believe. If you don't want to believe, don't believe. But how about this? Don't disparage the people who do. Don't disparage the people who don't. So if you're a believer, don't say, oh, these atheists are terrible people and they're wrong and they're evil. And if you're an atheist, don't say, oh, these believers are stupid and terrible and evil people. Just leave it alone. It's kind of like the monkeys, you know. My monkey group is better than your monkey group because my monkey group eats a yellow banana and your monkey group eats a brown banana. Therefore, we must kill you, ook ook. Let's rise above that. You know, we have this beautiful collection of cholesterol inside our skulls. Let's use it for something good. Anyway, I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to bid you all a fond farewell. Ride safe. And I will talk to you all later.